Tonight on CTV News, houses are threatened as a beach fire rages. City care is on the market. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Emma Jane McLennan. In breaking news, houses were evacuated in South Shore today as a major blaze swept through sand dunes. 8 fire appliances and a helicopter fought the fire, which started about 3 p.m. The fire was on the seaside part of Rocking Horse Road on the Spit. Police are investigating the cause, which is believed to be potentially suspicious. The main fire was near Caspian Street, while a smaller blaze broke out near Godwit Street. Strong easterly winds blew smoke towards the city. City care may be sold by mid-next year in a bid to solve Christchurch City Council's financial shortfall. Chelsea Daniels explains.
A move has been made to get Christchurch out of huge financial trouble by selling off the company that keeps the city clean. A sale process for City Care Limited will start in the new year as the Christchurch City Council grapples with the problem of solving its $1.2 billion shortfall for earthquake repairs.
Quite a long process to go through with any sale. We're committed to having a sale completed by the end of the financial year, which is in June 2016.
The City Care sale comes after city councillors voted mid-year to take some ratepayer-owned assets off the list that could not be sold without consulting the public. City Care had an after-tax profit of $10.23 million for the year ended June 2015 from a revenue of $334 million.
The council's long-term plan says that they need to sell quite a lot of assets in the next several years, but they do have a requirement to to raise some funds this year, and it's the other years that will be as required when they'll determine as they review the plans just how much capital they need. It's about making sure the council's debt doesn't get too high.
The company has contracts nationwide and was set up in 1999. Mr. Lynham says it's easier to sell City Care as the council owns 100% of it, rather than others on the list where there are other shareholders.
It doesn't actually own infrastructure assets, it maintains them, and the council's more sensitive to the importance of them maintaining control of the actual assets that are in place around the city.
City Care is expected to generate strong interest from potential buyers.
Well, over a number of years, we've had lots of approaches from companies that are interested in acquiring our assets, and City Care is one of those companies where there are other contracting companies that recognise some of the strengths that are in City Care.
He says job loss will solely be up to the new owners, but he is confident.
There's every reason why the sale shouldn't make any difference to that, because while there's work to be done, they will buy the company with the contracts that it has in place, and there'll still be work to be done by the existing staff.
The sale is the first step in a capital release program aimed at raising up to $200 million this financial year from council-owned commercial assets and up to another $550 million in the next 2 years. Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
Canterburyans joined tens of thousands around the world in an effort to take action against climate change. Chelsea Daniels has the latest.
Hundreds of Cantabrians united in a global cause at the weekend to address climate change. It was the first in a global series of rallies where protesters called for real action ahead of a major United Nations conference scheduled in Paris this week.
New Zealand is going to Paris with one of the poorest records of any of the developed countries.
Saturday's event was organised by 350 Christchurch, the country's branch of the worldwide climate change movement, 350.org. Mayor Leanne Dowsell was in attendance, urging people to take action.
I can stand here and I will stand here and restate my personal commitment as Mayor of Christchurch to a clean energy, zero carbon future. But that doesn't make a difference if it lets anyone off the have to own this. You have to lead the way as well.
The crowds marched from Victoria Square, down Oxford Terrace and through the Restart Mall on Cashel Street before turning down Colombo Street and returning to Victoria Square. Prime Minister John Key, who is already in Paris, will join another 150 world leaders in the France capital to collaborate on a new global deal on climate change.
We must act. We must fight for our children and our grandchildren, because I know, and you know, what they're going to say to us. Why the hell didn't you do something about climate change?
But Mr. Key says New Zealand's targets were credible and achievable, saying we have a developing country emissions profile for a developed country. Because most of our emissions come from agriculture, there's no simple way of currently eliminating these. Christchurch was one of many cities demonstrating at the weekend, with hundreds of thousands worldwide contributing to the climate change debate. Saturday's march in Christchurch was a major contrast to events in Paris yesterday. The official climate change march in Paris was banned by organisers due to security concerns amid a national emergency as a result of the November 13 terror attacks. Around 200 people were arrested during the clashes with police using tear gas to disband protesters. 350.org has distanced itself from any violence. Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
Orana Wildlife Park received a tall order on Friday with a new addition at the Giraffe enclosure. Chelsea Daniels went to meet the new girl today.
Orana Wildlife Park's newest addition might be a bit shy, but she's coming out of her shell. 2-year-old Shira arrived on Friday night after a 3-day sea voyage from Auckland to Timaru and then a short trip north by road.
So we took the 2-hour journey down to Timaru. We met her on the boat, had a massive crane, took her from the ship onto the truck really easily, strapped her down and we made our way home.
And it looks like she's fitting in just fine.
Today's the first time she's come over to the platform with the girls. A bit of a change in routine for her today. We've had public up here, we've had a zoo school, and we've got a public feed at 12, so it's a massive change for her. She hasn't seen anyone up here yet, apart from keeping staff.
These are 2 of Shara's new housemates, and as you can see, she's still a little bit nervous, but handlers are confident that she will fit in no time. Orana Park has the only giraffe enclosure in the South Island, making them a major player in the Australasian Zoo's regional breeding program. The Rothschild giraffe is one of the most endangered giraffe subspecies, with only a few hundred left in the wild. The International Species Information System reports around 450 in captivity.
These guys unfortunately are critically endangered. It's due to things like poaching. Human-animal conflict is a huge issue. These guys are obviously killed for trophies.
A second Auckland Zoo female, Madomo, will join the herd early next year.
It'd be great for Shara to see a familiar face as well, so hopefully she might even settle in a bit more knowing that there's someone that she grew up with.
Sights are set on breeding purposes, however the keeper's main concern is to get the new arrivals settled in. Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
Still to come, what's happening in your neighbourhood? Welcome back. Dwelling consents in Canterbury went down last month compared to October last year, according to a new report from Statistics New Zealand. 489 new dwellings were consented last month, down 197 from the year before. This was compared to rises in Auckland, Waikato and the Bay of Plenty. While consents have gone down in Canterbury, they are still well above the historical average. Christmas is less than a month away, so what are likely to be the top toys? Chelsea Daniels went to find out.
Technology. That's what modern day kids want underneath the Christmas tree this year. Robots and other high-tech toys that let children interact with them will be the biggest sellers.
Changing a wee bit. It's more sort of to the technology side of things now. A lot of toys are app enabled, or they use the internet to sort of augment what they provide as a toy, which is really cool.
Mobile or tablet-based applications is something only created within the last decade. So, what's on children's Christmas lists this year?
For the girls there, we've got the For Real Friends Starlily Magical Unicorn here. Now she responds to touch and sound, and she also responds with over 100 touch and sound sort of responses, which is fantastic.
And for the boys,
so this is the app-enabled Sphero Droid. So this one here you can control with your Android phone or iPhone, and it's got a lot more features as well.
But with the extra features comes the extra cost.
These are the 5 toys.
So about the average for these toys here, they start at about 50 and they go up to about 300 here for the more expensive BB-8 there. Probably looking at about an average of about 100, I guess.
But children are also sticking with some old favourites.
I still say that Lego is definitely one of the most popular toys that we sell, definitely.
Tower Junction is Toy World's flagship store, and the team is getting prepared for the Christmas rush, with 5 or 6 extra staff rostered on each and every day. Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
A Christchurch woman was hit in the arm by a drive-by paintball shooting at the weekend. The 29-year-old legal executive and her fiancé were saying goodbye to friends outside the Monday Room restaurant in Morehouse Ave at about 11 p.m. on Saturday when the incident happened. The shot was fired by a person wearing a paintball mask who was leaning out the window. The hit pierced her skin and left a big bruise, but she did not need medical attention. Others standing on the footpath were also hit. Now let's cross to Bridget Rutherford in the newsroom with what's happening in your neighbourhood.
Thanks, Emma Jane. A consultant has been appointed for the Bishopdale Library project. Sequent Projects will undertake the development and design work for the new centre, which will be built on the former site of the Bishopdale Community Creche. The original library was damaged beyond repair in the February 2011 earthquake. The $4 million facility will have a combined library and community hall and joined by an atrium with decks. Construction is scheduled to begin in June and hope to be ready to open by mid-2017. The Selwyn District Council has been asked to consider doubling its funding of new community centres. The Dunsandel Community Committee has called for the council to put in 20% of the cost of building its new $3 million hall. The council has only committed to 10% because that's its policy across the district. But the Community Committee says it needs more help to ease the burden on its 600 ratepayers, and the council should change its policy. The council is still considering how it will fund new facilities in the future. A new cycleway linking the eastern suburbs to the central city is firing up Linwood residents affected by the plans. 2 workshops have been held to discuss the $22.4 million Rapanui Shagrock cycleway. Residents who attended were worried about the safety of the route, parking being taken away, and vehicle traffic being pushed onto nearby streets. Marlborough Street homeowner Joy Priest says the cycleway will take away parking outside her house, which could devalue her property. Consultation on the Linwood section of the cycleway has closed, and the council will now analyse the feedback. An extra 35-metre pool in the Eastern Sports and Recreation Centre would likely cost millions more than what's been budgeted for the project. QE2's replacement has caused controversy. Lobby groups say the facility will be insufficient to meet the needs of the eastern suburbs without an extra 35-metre pool included. But the project, which isn't scheduled to be finished until 2018, is already $1.7 million over the allocated budget of $37 million. Sports and Recreation Unit Manager John Filzell says the 25-metre pool plus the learn to swim and leisure pools were more than adequate to meet the needs of the area. He says while it wouldn't be like the old QE2, it would be a spectacular facility for the area. And a Hornby High School student has been awarded a National Youth Development Award. 15-year-old Chantal Wallace received an Excellence Award from the Foundation for Youth Development at the Government House in Auckland last week. Wallace was one of the recipients recognised for making changes to her life with the FYD's Project K program. The program helps to build confidence and promote better life choices for Year 10 students. Other Christchurch recipients included Kiwi Can leaders Kate Hermanson and Sophie King, who help in Hornby primary and intermediate schools. From the newsroom, I'm Bridget Rutherford.
Still to come, sport and your region's weather. Welcome back. Now here's Gordon Findlater with the latest in local sport.
Well, starting with rugby tonight, and the Crusaders look set to be without another key member of the franchise after 2016. According to reports out of France, Fijian superstar Nemani Ndolo has reportedly signed with Montpellier. The move would see Ndolo join coach Todd Blackadder in departing the club after next season, while he would also join a long list of former Crusaders to make the move to Europe. Ndolo has an outstanding record for the Crusaders, notching 22 tries in just 27 matches. Well, local tennis fans were treated to a number of top quality matches at the weekend's Canterbury Tennis Open. The two tournament draw cards and Davis Cup regulars didn't disappoint, with Artem Sitak and Michael Venus both seeing off Saturday's challengers, making their way to Sunday's semi-finals. A local would stake his claim on Sunday morning though, with Kashmir's James Meredith accounting for Sitak 7-6, 6-1 to set up a mouth-watering final with Michael Venus, who defeated Waimari's Remy Fenian 6-2, 6-2. The afternoon's final wouldn't disappoint, with the two big servers producing some world-class short and sharp points. After going down a break early, Venus battled his way back to take the first set 6-4, before Meredith answered back in the second, winning 5-7 to the local crowd's delight. In the deciding third set, the New Zealand #1 showed the class that has seen him establish himself on the World Tour, taking it narrowly 6-4. Venus now adds his name to the over 100-year-old trophy, featuring some of the country's greats. The women's trophy also went to an Aucklander, with Brittany T defeating Waimari's Jolene Fenian 6-7, 6-4, 7-6 in the final. On to football now, where Canterbury United were dealt their first loss of the season yesterday, going down to Auckland City. After a slow start to the game, United went close just after the half-hour mark. Moments later, City would grab the first goal of the game, with Ryan de Vries finishing off a great counter-attack.
The opening goal has come from Ryan de Vries. De Vries did a superb job in finishing this one.
Canterbury came out firing early in the second half, coming ever so close on two occasions.
A stellar finish right there from Jesse Dignan. Kind of floated through the air. Spoonley been for all money. Here comes Clapham. It's a good ball. Dan High has been beaten here. Spoonley's well off his line. Surely it's an equaliser. He has missed it. Jesse Dignan has missed it.
United would punish Canterbury for failing to convert though, with Portuguese striker Moriera making it 2-0 Auckland.
It's a brilliant finish. Michael Alifa has scored 3 goals this season, but has provided a goal to Moriera on that account.
The home side then wrapped things up on the half-hour mark. Mikel Alvaro driving in a well-placed low shot from just outside the 18-yard box.
Didn't close down the gap quick enough, Alvaro. Very good to put it away.
Canterbury did grab a consolation goal, young Andre de Jong showing a great first touch before slotting it home in the bottom corner.
De Jong gets a goal for Canterbury United, brilliantly taken. Good pass in from Kawa. Nice touch, wasn't it? And the finish from Andre de Jong, the glimpse of his young talent on display.
United currently find themselves in 4th spot in this year's ASB Premiership after 3 games. Well, you're up to date with the latest in local sport. I'm Gordon Findlater for CTV Sport.
Thanks, Gordon. Now it's time for Mercy with your region's weather forecast.
Thanks, Emma Jane. Well, today it was a little bit fresher out there with those cool northeasterly winds and cloudy skies for most places. We are expecting a very warm week though, quite reminiscent to last week. Today's highs 19 for you there, Timaru. Central Canterbury 19 was also a trend for Christchurch and Akaroa. Sharing 19 was you, Leeston, and Ashburton also on 19, didn't quite make that 23 degrees. Heading further north, Kaikoura also a little bit colder today, so not on 21 but on 17. Cheviot there on 20, and Shearing 20 was also Amelie and Rangiora, so a little bit chillier than we predicted. Over to the Alpine region, 18 was actually the high there for Arthur's Pass. Tomorrow we are expecting it to be very warm and muggy, so Timaru 27 for your high there with northerly winds throughout the day, cloudy skies as well, and the odd chance of a few spots of rain. Ashburton 27 is also your expected high, 15 for your overnight low with those northerly winds. The Garden City gonna be a real warm one, 28 there for you guys. The first day of summer is definitely delivering, 14 for the overnight low. Kaikoura, your morning start is 15 degrees, getting to 26 throughout the day. Gonna be a nice sunny one with light winds and northerlies for you. Looking ahead for South Canterbury, tomorrow you guys will be seeing it hot as well. Temuka and Shielding both on 27 degrees with northerly winds. Central Canterbury 26, therefore Akaroa, Leeston and Darfield 27 for you, Methven. Heading further north, we are seeing those northerly winds warming up the North Canterbury again. So 27 for Hanna Springs, 28 for Colvin and Amberley, and 25 for Cheviot. Over to the Alpine region now, Arthur's Pass on 16, few rain spots here and there with northwesterlies for you. Looking ahead to the upcoming days, Wednesday is looking like a really nice day. We're seeing highs between the 26 to 31 degrees, 28 there for most places in the major centres, 26 for you, Kaikoura. On Thursday, sunny and fine again with really warm temperatures, 27 for Ashburton and 25 for everyone else there. Looking ahead for the rest of the Canterbury region on Wednesday, another scorcher of the day, mostly dry and fine with those northerly winds, could be the odd chance of a spillover shower from the west, and again showers for Arthur's Pass. Looking ahead for Thursday, also expecting it to be really lovely and hot. Beautiful hot weather, cloudy skies as we see, but a mostly dry, fine day for everyone. So looking ahead over the next coming days, we are expecting it to be another heat wave. So if you remember last week, very similar temperatures and weather to that. Might be good to clean out those swimming pools or maybe hit the beach this week. That's your update for Monday. Back to you, Emma Jane.
Thanks, Mercy. And that's CTV News for Monday. You can find all her stories and bulletins on demand at ctv.co.nz. We leave you tonight with some pictures from the market day on the Bay, all part of Timaru's Festival of Roses in the weekend. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Emma Jane McLennan. Have a great night.
I got my new shoes on. I got my skinny jeans on as well. I'm going out to a party. I'm styling. 'Cause we all like to dance. And yeah, we all like to smile. Oh yeah.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.